quick video for you guys. I was just wanting to show you quickly about a fitting that's really helped me a lot in my build. If you look at my patient's build log, especially the last update, you will see I used these fittings a few times throughout, especially across the CPU block, and I also used it near the radiator in a very tight spot. I needed this fitting, and so I wanted to make a short video just to show how much I really like this little small fitting here. This is a Koolance Low Profile Rotary elbow, and it has been a great help to me when making the build. It fits in very tight spaces. As you can see, it's very small. Just a little, that's it. That's the whole fitting right there. And you put in your G1 quarter threads, one going in, and of course you screw in this side to a rad or a block, whatever you prefer. Your O-ring is here. Now this small compact style has both a positive and a negative. And the positive, of course, is because it's small, it can fit in many places, and it can fit into really tight places that you would rather have a hard time getting to, because this is actually in two parts. Okay, you place the fitting down where you need it, and then the flathead area up top, this flathead area allows you to just screw it down without having to actually turn anything like you would on a usual rotary. You can take a penny, you can take a flathead screwdriver and just twist the top until it's tightened up with your fingers here, or however you will do it, without actually moving anything down below, which makes it very flexible and easy to use in many situations. Now, where does the difficulty come in? Well, because it's compact, it is very difficult sometimes to make sure that the O-ring stays in place as you're actually trying to tighten things down, because don't let it fool you. Now, this is actually not the O-ring that came with it. With the stock O-rings that come with it, on many occasions when you're trying to use it, the O-ring will slip, something like that. You know, it'll tilt out. It's easy for the O-ring to come out because it has only so many threads for the O-ring to actually catch to and attach to, so that it stays in place once you tilt it downwards to try and screw it down. Depending on where you're putting this at, you could have trouble with that, and it's a pain in the ass, but it's kind of a give and a take really for this kind of design. And if you guys haven't already seen it, allow me to take this O-ring out. Take it out. That's where the O-ring fits. You can switch it very easily, and that's the actual fitting. It comes apart in two pieces. Okay, it comes apart in two pieces. You have your first area here. This is what you're twisting, and it's also what's screwing in. You put it into the elbow, and you have your fitting ready to go. Okay, put your O-ring on, and this is how it comes straight out the package. And like I said, this is not the stock O-ring. This is actually from a Bits Power fitting is where this O-ring came from. I didn't know what the other O-ring went to. The O-ring it comes with is actually a little thinner than the Bits Power ones. It's not as thick, and actuality it actually fits a little tighter. Works a little better with the Bits Power O-ring, which I actually didn't notice until right now. The O-ring it comes with is just a black O-ring. It's a little smaller, not as thick, and it actually slides around out of place sometimes as you're trying to screw the fitting into place, which can be quite the problem. But if you also notice, once it's down there, when you hold the top, it twists very easily. It twists very easily. And once you tighten it down, or once you get it down into place, you can move it very easily. And after you tighten it down, while holding this, you can still move the bottom piece around, and that's pretty awesome. Still move the bottom piece around, and there's so many ways to that this helps out in a lot of loops, even no matter what your case is, whether it's big or small. If you're planning a very complex loop, this helps, and it helped me a whole lot across the CPU blocks in the patience update. I'll guess I'll put a link to the video down below, but you can just go on my channel, and it's the very last video I made, I think, actually. It's my my last patience update for my computer. You'll see these across the CPU blocks, and they are also used on the bottom rad in that tight corner that I have my drain little drain valve setup hooked up to. Okay, and that's where this fitting comes in. This fitting is very helpful. I like it a lot. It's just the fact of the O-ring, the stock O-ring it comes with does not stick very well. It doesn't stay in place very well as you're using it. I had one of these where it would not stop slightly leaking out the top when I was using it, and it turns out that the O-ring was not well in place when I screwed it in. I thought it was. When I took it out and readjusted it and got it down into place, it was still leaking slightly, so maybe it was a defective fitting, but I took care of it. I just replaced it with another one. When you have bad fittings, guys, it's hard to trust it. Even if you figure out that maybe it was just an O-ring, or maybe you just didn't have it tight enough, or whatever. But when you replace it and it works, it's hard to take that one that was giving you problems and actually try to use it in a loop again. Just throw it away, get rid of it. You know, have a clear conscience to make sure that everything runs well in your loop. These fittings, once again, these are Koolance 90-degree low profile rotary elbow fittings. I bought these from FrozenCPU, but I'm pretty sure they're sold in other places, Performance-PCs and stuff like that. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks. Have a good one.